Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Ohio State Esports broadcast coming at you live from Lincoln Tower on the campus of the Ohio State University. My name is Kenneth. I'm joined today by Nathan, and we're here to watch some Overwatch, finally, an Overwatch broadcast with casters.
Yes.
How you doing today?
It's been a great day today so far. I'm excited to be here in the booth. We're going to have some great Overwatch gameplay coming soon to you guys. And I'm real excited to see what Drexel and Ohio State can provide to our experience today.
Yeah, so Ohio State squad is going to be going up against Drexel University today. Both these teams currently entering week 4 of the Swiss stage at a record of 5-1. However, Ohio State's going to be forfeiting their second match today against the Northeastern B squad. Fortunately, we've got some players that have to be on the road because it's spring break week here on the campus of Ohio State. It's spring break week. We say that as there's 30 degrees outside, about an inch of snow on the ground, and there's salt all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I was wearing shorts last week. It was 70 degrees outside.
It was 70 degrees. I was wearing shorts on the broadcast. I was standing right here. Last week, it was 70 degrees outside. It was a beautiful day. It was almost too warm, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this week, it's snowing.
Yep. Snow last night. Had to dust off the car this morning just to even get here. Yeah, it's been really, really chilly today. I was just genuinely surprised at the shift of weather we have here in Ohio.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a little strange, to say the least, but nonetheless, this match should be a good one, of course. The Ohio State squad looking to try to retain their playoff spot on the line. It is the top 32 out of, I don't even know how many tems are in this thing.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of teams
here. There's at least 100.
Yep.
I can tell you that much for sure. Yeah, so a lot of teams competing in this, all vying for 32 playoff spots for the group stage. That'll be happening over the course of the next couple of weeks. And, of course, if we do make that group stage, you'd expect to find more information on this broadcast. We'll be live, hopefully, in future Saturday evenings. This is, okay, so before the show, because we don't know enough about what's going on, I asked our producer to look up what the Drexel mascot is. And for those of you that don't know, Mario the Magnificent.
Mario the Magnificent.
Mario the Magnificent.
Yes.
So his day was 2 days ago.
I guess.
It's a good thing we're not playing on Mario Day.
Yeah, it is a good thing. Appears like a dragon of some sort, like a blue and yellow dragon. Kind of interesting mascot,
Those are enemy colors. Those are enemy colors right there. Gotta say it. Gotta point it out. Not a fan. Have to say it. I mean, we're obligated to. Right?
I totally agree.
You're not going to get an unbiased cast here, by the way. That's the way it works. We hate Michigan around here, okay? I shouldn't have even said that word. That's the way it is. That's what you're going to get around here. That's the content you're tuning in for. And that's what you're going to get. But hopefully, at the very least, we can make this entertaining for you all. So, yeah, honestly, don't know too much about what we're expecting to see today. I know that our Overwatch roster has been trying to go through a few roster iterations, but some of those roster iterations haven't quite gone through the league officials yet. So it'll be difficult to really see what we're going to pan out for. But, of course, we're in for a great best of 3 today.
Yep, I'm excited to see what Ohio State can bring to the table. I know they're doing really well in the group stages so far, so just real excited to get out there and see some of what our players can do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this team is a lot of fun to watch. Of course, historically, the Ohio State Overwatch program has been quite strong, been able to make pretty deep runs in terms of playoff brackets in the regional stages of this event. And so, obviously a little bit to live up to for this roster. They've lost some of their star players over the course of the past few seasons, but of course, they'll be looking to try to regain some of that moving forward. And so, always going to be fun to watch, always going to be interesting to watch, and of course, we're looking forward to bringing that action to you. But, so, gotta say, while we've got a moment, of course, we did talk a little bit earlier, it is spring break. Got any plans? You going anywhere?
Actually, my plan is to have no plans.
Hey.
Real stressed out during the weeks with school, and now I'm just trying to take my time off, find some things that I enjoy doing regularly that I don't get to do at school, spend some time playing some games, because everyone's got to do that. But, yeah, for plans, no plans. That's the best. For me, that's the best plan.
I wish I had no plans. No, I mean, I definitely feel that. haven't had a lot of time to play a lot of games when you're working a part-time job, when you're doing stuff for a club, when you're, trying to find time to do homework at some point or another. It does get a little bit rough, but so hopefully I'll be able to get some game playing in. Might even think about sticking around today. The Lincoln Tower Arena, folks, is still open.
Yep.
Normal hours this weekend. We'll have reduced hours Monday through Wednesday, and they will be closed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. So if you're looking to try to get your games in, come in earlier this week. Then, I don't know, maybe you can spend the latter part of the week doing some spring cleaning in your dorm or something if you're still around. Something like that, I don't really know. It does sound like we're getting close to getting our lobby ready. So still looking forward to getting into some of these matches today. But yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I'm just going to be driving all over the place. Like, I'm going home for a little bit. I don't live very far,
Yeah.
So I'll be going home for a little bit. I'll be coming back for a little bit, back for our potential Monday night broadcast. We'll see if that actually ends up happening.
Yeah.
Our Rocket League squad is going to be playing in their last match of the season, potentially on Monday. They might be rescheduling. Of course, you all will know whether or not we go live. Be sure to drop a follow. Ring that bell, because that's the best way we've got of notifying you. Sorry, folks, the automated Twitch alerts is the best thing, because we also have one social media manager right now. That's the way it is. So We're trying to do our best to get content out to you all, stay up to date on all things esports here at Ohio State. And there's a lot going on. There's not always that you get to see everything that happens. But of course, BGC was hosting a Valorant game night this past weekend.
Ago, this Thursday.
Or this past weekend, Thursday.
Actually, 2 weeks in a row. We were lucky enough to have our community manager there take the reins and say we're going to do it 2 weeks in a row. He seems to be really enjoying that, which is great. Great to see the community come out and participate. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future for those and all the other events that are happening here at Lincoln.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, larger day in the campus esports community, especially if you're a Valorant fan. There's a LAN event happening over at Game Arena.
Yep.
I feel a need to shout that out because, hey, there's cool stuff happening in the Columbus area.
Plenty of stuff to do around here for sure.
Plenty of stuff. So, if you're interested, go check that out. The group was Game Arena, also Vanguard Championship Series. So check it out if you're interested, especially if you're interested in Valorant. The other, what is it? I was about to say agent, but I suppose Overwatch, you don't really have agents. You just have heroes.
You have your heroes in Overwatch.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, I'm not much of an Overwatch guy.
I mean, talking about new heroes, we will have the new hero Sojourn coming out in Overwatch 2, which, if you're not aware, the open beta or the closed beta, but it's more so open because you can just sign up, did open just a couple days ago, and that is set to release in late April, which, if you're an Overwatch fan, you're real excited. 0 days since the last Overwatch 2 update, which is kind of crazy, but
yeah, I mean, that was yesterday, right?
Yesterday
morning at some point, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
so,
anyways, we're going to be looking to getting into the match here, as we transition into Ilios here.
Tell me a bit about it.
Ilios is a control point map. It's traditionally like a best of 3 map. So you're going to have the first one here, which is Lighthouse. We're starting out on. Teams are going to fight to control that point underneath the lighthouse. And we're going to see players battle in there, outside on the high ground, and then over towards the left, towards the garden. Looks like we're going to have Lava starting out on the Zarya, and Orangutan on the Tracer, Mafia on the Pharah, which Pharah Mercy combo here is going to be pretty lethal. It appears as though Drexel will be looking to run a similar composition, almost exactly the same, except they're subbing in that Zenyatta for the Ana. And the doors are going to open here in just a moment. We're going to be rolling out with a Wrecking Ball.
I got to say, love some of the gamer tags from Drexel. Pest control. Come on, that's got to be a pretty good one.
That's a good, especially
that's a pretty good one.
Especially for a tracer. Most tracers act like pests. They're pretty hard to catch, and sneaking in those melees, they're always trying to get that extra damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the 2 Wrecking Balls just rolling around here, trying to find someone isolated. Looks like they're going for Lava on the, or Mafia on the Pharah.
And they're starting to come on in here, both these teams starting to feel each other out a little bit early, but of course, as Orangutan goes down, we're going to start to see this fight unfold, and Ohio State's going to quickly clap back. That's 2 onto Optimal Shot and CV. Here comes Lava, trying to come on in here as well, trying to be a little bit more aggressive with that Wrecking Ball, able to find yet another one here. So the Ohio State squad is going to be able to get 3 onto their opponents, and is going to be looking to capture this point here in just a moment. But it doesn't look like Drexel's giving up too easily as they take another one down.
Yeah, I mean, the point still has not been captured. Looks like Ohio State's working their way towards getting that first cap, and there it is. That's the big pivotal part. Ohio State has control of the first point first time around, and shocking to see that Drexel, Mafia with a big kill on Pest Control, and Peanut will trade it right back. Looks like we're trading back and forth. Just a little bit of scrap in between the two teams here. Looks like we're setting up for another team fight. Taking a look at the ultimates from Ohio State. What do we got going on?
2 ultimates up right now. That's DC Star that is going to go down in the process. So they're not going to have that at their disposal, but here comes Winter. Is going to be able to find 1 onto CV, and now trying to continue to keep up the pressure. All the meanwhile, Orangutan on the Tracer, trying to be a little bit more mobile, trying to fend off some of these members of Drexel as they try to go on the offensive, but they still have a few ultimates of themselves at the ready here as well, as some of the Ohio State members continue to go down. Actually, Mafia getting resurrected in the process, and they're looking to try to continue holding this for now, and they're doing a decent enough job. Actually, that's going to be another few down as Mafia is able to clean house, make it 4 for Mafia for the Ohio State squad, easily passing through this halfway point.
Yeah, Mafia tore up that team fight there, getting boosted by the Mercy. Still has his barrage online, so we'll be looking to see what he can do with that in this next team fight. Peanut's trying to take Mafia down out of the skies. It's a little tricky with those Zenyatta orbs since they are projectiles, not hit scan. And we have looking like 3 ultimates for OSU coming out here to Drexel University's 3 as well. Here comes the minefield from Wolger as Ohio State is trying to still feel out their opponent.
Trying to make sure that there's just a little bit less room to breathe as that minefield from Wolger. Orangutan going to go down as part of a result. The rest of the Ohio State squad is really trying to come on, but the Drexel University squad is contesting this point and is going to be able to capture it, preventing the point from going Ohio State's direction. They're going to be forced to regroup as another 2 go down. They're looking to try to reset some of their timers in order to come back in here with their 3 ultimates online.
Yeah, and you see Winter just jumping off the map there, not trying to feed into the enemy's ultimate abilities, just doing the damage himself, resetting that team fight there. And looks like we're going into Ohio State trying to recap this point and take the first map.
Orangutan has to be careful on the front lines here for Ohio State. That Tracer, very mobile, but also very squishy of a target. You have to be very careful when you're playing this hero. Well, meanwhile, Winter is able to find 1, trying to be that tank, trying to hold down the back lines here for Ohio State and allow a little bit more of the aggressors to come on in here. But with Orangutan and Mafia both going down, they're not really going to have the DPS output in order to take this point head on. Winter's trying to go in here on this Diva and not quite able to find much of anything on that aggressive. Now, trying to hop on top of Pest Control, but swarmed by 3 members of the Drexel squad is going to be forced to step on away from that fight. All the meanwhile, Optimal Shot able to pick up 1 for Drexel onto Orangutan once more. And this could be dangerous now for Ohio State as Drexel is quickly catching up. It could be potentially looking to secure this point.
Yeah, and it looks like Mafia has swapped off of the Pharah, seeing that Optimal Shot has swapped to Echo, trying to essentially snipe her out of the sky. We have a big team fight going on towards the Ohio State side of the map, and Winter's just sitting here trying to protect his Ana, trying to keep her alive. DC Star is very thankful for the protection of Winter, and looks like we're a little bit of a mosh here. Still don't exactly know what's going on.
So 2 down for Drexel. 1 came up off the resurrection from CB, but now another 2 go down for Drexel. So Ohio State's coming on the aggressive once more. We've hit overtime now for Drexel. Ohio State has to get on this point almost immediately in order to ensure that they can cap this. And they're looking decent for the time being, but they've got to be very careful. Mafia is able to find 1, but there are so many mines on this point. We'll have to see if Drexel can come back in here. Ohio State's going to be able to capture the point, looking to try to tie this, and now is in overtime, looking to secure this once more, but it's going to start to get contested by some of the members of Drexel University. It's a 2-down situation for them right now, and they're soon not going to have the members to fight against Ohio State. just on a hero-for-hero basis. Now, Hammond going to try to come in once more. It's going to be another 2-down situation for Drexel, and you're starting to see these respawns stagger a little bit more for Drexel. It's going to be even harder for them to continue to have somebody on the point at all times. Oh my goodness, it almost went down all the way, and now it will. That's going to be the first objective secured for Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good final team fight there for OSU. They were able to push themselves back onto the point, take most of that control with the Wrecking Ball minefield, and they took all of that space, flipped the point over to, flipped the point back over to themselves, and ended up finishing that map there. Looks like we're headed to the well portion of Ilios. There's a big giant pit in the middle of this point. It'll be interesting to see if anyone's playing some kind. It's interesting to see if the Wrecking Balls can get any kind of kills down into the pit. There it is. Big, deep. You don't want to go down there. Looks like
I don't know. Something's getting broken if you fall down there.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna
totally.
say. I don't think. It could be broken bones. It could be broken mechs. It could be broken anything.
Yep.
Something's gonna break if you fall down there.
And it looks like Drexel's going to start off with a Symmetra, teleporting everyone out to the point, and then CB is going to be on the Brigitte for us here.
Now trying to see this go in. CB immediately going down here as Ohio State's going to start to come on in. Now you see Lava going in here with the Hammond, able to find this effective ground pound, and now is able to take out yet another for the Ohio State squad. Already finding these hero advantages, and now already going forward to capture the point. They're working on this, and they're going to be able to be the first ones on the board.
Yeah, Ohio State taking pretty demanding control after getting that first pick on Drexel's support backline of the Brigitte. Just both the Wrecking Balls and Tracers trying to feel stuff out here, trying to look for that first pick, building up their ultimates. Mafia on the Pharah is super close to his ultimate. If he lands just a couple more rockets, we should see that ultimate come online.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is the ultimate, but it's going to immediately get taken out as Optimal Shot is able to snipe that one down from the sky. Ohio State has to be a little bit more careful, as now they're the ones that are 2 down in the process. Winter getting slept, and Orangutan is going to go down here as well. So now Drexel contesting the point, and they're going to be able to capture it right here. Only allowing Ohio State 39 in their first push. Pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good even here. According to how team fights usually roll, Drexel should be able to work this percent right back into their favor. We're still kind of jousting here because OSU still has most of their players online. Mafia's just spawning back in, and we're committing to ultimates here. The Nano Boost and the Minefield from Lava coming out trying to reclaim the space.
Ohio State wants to make sure that they maintain this league. They're trying to buy a little bit more time for Mafia to come in, but oh no, Orangutan and DC Star both going down at the same time. They're going to be able to find one trade for their efforts, but we'll have to see if it's enough. One of the things about Overwatch here is it's so much about who has more players on the map. I see it all of the time. The second you see one of those players go down, it tends to snowball if you don't have ultimates to back it up. We'll see what else this squad can do. Drexel's going to be able to take the lead, but Ohio State's going to be able to get it back, or get the point back shortly after, and we'll be looking to try to take this lead right back as well. They're going to be able to do it here on this point. But Drexel immediately capturing right back. These teams very evenly matched so far.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Drexel's pulling ahead here, but Ohio State's fighting for every inch. They still have control of the map, so it looks like they're just going to keep trying to stall with the Wrecking Ball and Diva, these big, beefy tanks that can take a lot of damage. Just still trying to stall this point, get as much percentage as they can before they eventually will probably turn it over to Drexel. Unless Ohio State pulls out some kind of crazy play, ultimate ability, but it appears as not since Mooney and Mafia both fall.
Optimal Shot going in now on a 5-kill streak. Looks like there's a new target Ohio State has to try to take out. Now Orangutan going to go down here as well. So on the respawn starting to get staggered for Ohio State, and it buys Drexel just that much more time. We'll have to see if the Ohio State setup is good enough. No ultimates online for them, but they're close to a few. DC Star at 98, Mooney at 79. Going to have that, revive on the ready. Being able to have that is crucial to try to make sure that you have a 7th player at times, what'll feel like on the map. But here we go, Lava with the engage. Able to try to knock up a few.
Crowd control there, just stunned and bopped and all of that. Just Lava just gets melted instantly.
Yeah, it didn't quite look super coordinated there. Lava went in, not a lot of damage to follow up there from the Ohio State squad, and Drexel was very quickly able to focus. But now some of those damage stats started to come in. As you see 2 go down for Drexel, you see 2 go down for Ohio State, but Optimal Shot able to take care of another one. It's overtime already for Drexel as they're looking to try to capture this point and take this, set us to a 3rd point on this map. And it looks like they might just be able to do it. Moody, again, has that revive at the ready for this Ohio State squad. We'll have to see when exactly it's pulled out. But Ohio State has a long way to go, and now with Optimal Shot going down once, we'll have to see if they can take care of business now. It's Mafia on the Echo, trying to take care of a little bit of business, now jumping on in on this ultimate, trying to take care of a little bit more business. You see 1 go down for the Ohio State behalf, and DC Star is going to get revived on the backside for Ohio State here as well. They're able to capture this point, but only time will tell if they'll be able to secure it as we start to see some of the Drexel ultimates potentially come online, but they're a long ways off. They're not going to be able to get at this before this charges.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State's working back with their ultimates. They still have control of the point. It's going to be a scramble here just to see if Ohio State can hold on to this point. It looks like it's going to be tough. Lots of players down for OSU. Just DC Star here with the Lucio trying to go and install this point. You can wall ride, be as fast, and heal on that Lucio. So trying to stall the point as long as possible. Looks like we've hit overtime for both teams. Ohio State's still trying to work on those respawns and just stall this point out.
Trying to do just that. You're starting to notice some of their members continuing to go down. DC Star trying to do the best he can to get back in here, but it's not quite going to be enough now. Winter going to go right back in here, trying to find the engagement, trying to open this up for Ohio State. With a few members down, they're not quite able to do all of that. Have to see what else they can do here as Winter turns their eyes to the skies. You're going to be able to find one here. That's Mafia, able to take down Optimal Shot once again, but it's going to get taken down himself. It's a 3-down situation for the Ohio State squad. And Ohio State has to recapture this point. It's looking close here for Drexel.
Yeah, barely touching the point there to keep it alive. Almost ticked down out of overtime. And we're still stalling the point. Getting so close. And it looks like Drexel will close out this second part of Ilios.
Just one member. Just
one person touching.
That's like putting your toe right in the water to like test it. Just to start. Yeah, guys, I'm totally apart. Or like, 1 foot in the door, making sure that you're still there. Yeah, guys, I'm totally involved here. I can totally do everything.
We are having a slight amount of difficulty. Looks like it's back online. There we go. Just back into it here. Taking on this third part into the Ilios ruins. This will be the decider for this first map. Lava starting out on the Winston and Winter on Diva. A little bit different than the Wrecking Ball here. It'll be interesting to see what Lava can do on the Monkey today.
Have to see is already running into some of the members of Drexel on the front lines for Ohio State, trying to push them back, trying to open things up, trying to allow some more space for the Ohio State squad, making sure that Drexel is pinned back in their own territory in order to make sure that Ohio State has first dibs on this point. It's going to unlock here shortly, and Ohio State might have a little bit of an advantage. We'll just have to see how this continues to pan out. It's unlocked, is already a member, is going to go down for Drexel. It's going to get captured first by Ohio State for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, great first capture there. Essentially, OSU just took a ton of space with the Winston jumping in and claiming a lot of space. They appear to have just capped the point based off that first pick, but Optimal Shot coming back in with 2, getting the hack on Lava. That's a big ability there, just denying all of the abilities of the other player. And looks like Drexel will work their way back on this second team fight.
Working their way out. Optimal Shot. Gotta say, some pretty optimal shots.
Yeah.
Coming out of Optimal Shot.
Yep.
Have to say the line, but it's true, folks. Put it in work for this Drexel squad as they're able to take this control here. We'll have to see what Ohio State can respond with as they start coming back in, and now they have to go right up against what they were doing to Drexel earlier. Lava trying to get around, but it's not quite able to do so. Winter starting to infiltrate on this Diva, able to find one, but not able to find any more for the time being. Now Orangutan going to be met with the Hammond from the other side of the map as Ohio State pressure is starting to slow here for them. Orangutan's going to go down in the process, and all of a sudden as they lose some of their damage, they're slowly going to start to get taken out one by one, and things are looking a little bit better for Drexel as Ohio State regroups.
Yeah, that team fight specifically, Ohio State was trying to work their way back into the fight, and then Optimal Shot just with his ultimate on the Sombra shut it all down, just said no one else is coming here, no abilities online. Huge ultimate there, and it looks like Mafia will pop his there as well. So looking like OSU is trying to take back this point. Orangutan with a big Reaper ultimate there, just trying to clean up this team fight.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 down, make it 3 down for Drexel, as Ohio State's going to be able to come back in here. That's a very solid push from Drexel. They're already charged at this point to about 70%. It'll be 71 by the time that Ohio State's able to capture this point. Ohio State's got their work cut out for them to come back in this first map.
Yeah, it was actually impressive that Ohio State only had to commit 2 ultimates to that team fight. And in the meantime, they brought 3 other ones back online to match Drexel's 3 ultimates. Peanut will also be appearing to get his ultimate online just right now. And then DC Star is so close to that Moira ultimate. Looking like we're going to have a big ult fight coming in here as Lava pops his Primal Rage early.
Potential fight for the game. Winter's going to start to go in here. And Ohio State's going to be able to find one collectively. Now make it another one as CB goes down here as well for Drexel. Orangutan trying to come on in. Does not have that ultimate to open things up once more for Ohio State on this Reaper, as we saw last time around. But somebody's got to take care of these backlines right now for Drexel. Drexel holding strong for at least the time being. They're going to come on back and regroup as now we start to see a few more of the members of Ohio State be a little bit more aggressive. They're able to take the lead now. But of course, it all comes down to whether or not they can secure this point, as another 3 ultimates have come online for the Drexel squad. They're starting to move on back in here. But Winter's trying to meet them on the front lines here as well. That shield's coming up. And you see the damage that this Winston can potentially put out. Here comes the Moira hack coming out of Optimal Shot. That one's going to get popped. And Winter's able to take care of some of this utility as well for the Ohio State squad. We'll see just how much more they can do. Mafia able to get that ultimate off, critically disabling some of those abilities from Drexel, opening up things for Ohio State maybe just a little while longer, but most of these Ohio State members have gone down. It's going to be Drexel to secure that fight, and they'll be the first ones to try to take this point.
Yeah, actually really good play by Ohio State here. They got the point to 99%, meaning they only really have to win this one next team fight in order to get the map or this part of the map and the rest of the map total. So trying to work back onto the point here.
It's going to be 99-99 once more by the time that this one's done and over with. It's Ohio State's going to try to come on back in here for the challenge. Drexel's already started up, but there are 0 ultimates online right now for either side. Okay, never mind. I say that. DC Star's got one on up here. Jeff Goldbum going to go down once. That's the front line starting to go down for Drexel. You start to see some of this damage coming in for Ohio State. Orangutan trying to find just maybe 2 members of this Drexel squad, able to try to take them off of this point, and they're starting to go down. Orangutan able to find 2, and now Ohio State's trying to capture this point back, but there's just a few members of Drexel still yet to take care of. They're going to knock them off this point. Overtime will be clinched. And they were so close to being able to put it, but here we go. Some of these members of Drexel continuing to come in here. The ultimate is popped again by Orangutan, and Ohio State is going to be able to take Ilios map 1.
Yep. Great play by Ohio State there on the final team fight. Just soloing out the back line, finding those critical picks. Orangutan put in a lot of work on that Reaper in the Drexel University backline in order to claim that map, Ilios.
And here we see from Wolver's perspective, the play that made this game close for Drexel, but it's just not going to be enough for them. And Ohio State's going to be able to take this map 1 as both these teams, again, are fighting for playoff contention. It's top 32, and you have to figure that both these teams want to continue winning to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, both teams at 5-1 here in the OWCC, looking to birth their run into the next stage of these playoffs. And great start by Ohio State getting that first map, Ilios, there for them.
It was so close. And that's one of the things about the Swiss stage. At this point in the season, these matches are going to be close. Your opponents, I mean, Ohio State and Drexel are literally right next to one another in the current standings, just based on tiebreak scenarios and all of those sorts of things. So you have to figure these teams are going to be extremely close at skill level, and we're seeing it right here. So close. I'm pretty sure every single one of those points was 99-99.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see what the rest of this has in store.
Yeah, super close, both sides. Those maps could have gone either way. Luckily enough, Ohio State pulled out the W there at the end of the map on Ilios. Really great job by them. And I'm curious to see what kind of map we're going into next.
Just got word it's going to be Kings Row.
Kings Row, cool. Well, Kings Row, personally, one of my favorite maps. I know it's the player bases, a lot of their favorite maps. So lots of close corridors here, tight team fights. It's going to be really great to see how these teams interact on a map that's a little bit closer. And let's see, I think Ohio State's going to start off on the attack here.
Yep, looks to be the case as we're starting to see the members select their compositions. And it should be a good one here overall as now those compositions are locked in. What do you see? What jumps out at you?
Well, immediately I see the Reinhardt out of Lava. That's a staple of King's Row, using that shield to play these corners super tight. Reinhardt is a great pick. I'm not sure about the current meta, but he's always good on King's Row. And then Mafia on the Mei. With that Mei wall, they're going to try to solo out some players, wall them off, get the freeze, and then eliminate those players as fast as possible. And it looks like Orangutan will also be on the Cassidy here, looking to solo out pest control with those flashbangs and headshots.
Mafia on the Mei, by the way, pretty sure that converted a Penta in a previous match from OWCC. You can check the highlights on Ohio State Esports. Follow us on Twitter for more highlights to come. But yeah, certainly a lot of heroes that our folks, our players here at Ohio State are comfortable with. And they're already going to start to try to come on in here. As we're going to have to see if they can pull ahead here and secure this point. It's going to be interesting the way that this is set up. We're not going to see those nail biters right now, but it's all about setting the pace for what the rest of this match is looking like if you're on the offensive side first.
Yeah, for sure. Ohio State looking to take this high ground control away from Drexel. Looks like Orangutan will be successful taking down that immortality field from Peanut, and it looks like Ohio State will take control of this first point.
Excellent fight there coming in from Ohio State, able to take their targets very critically, able to take care of business, and now continuing to take out members of Drexel, staggering their respawns just a little bit more, and buying themselves that much extra time to be able to secure this point, and then potentially start pushing the truck forward.
For sure, and it looks like Ohio State will cap the point here. They're going to try to take some of this early space. They're going to throw one player on the cart, and then this first corner here with the payload is probably the most pivotal point in order to get around the first curve onto the next objective. So looking like Ohio State's setting up to play this corner. Mafia trying to solo out one player on the Mei. They're going to commit the Matrix here from Mooney.
Got to be careful from Wolger coming in the back lines. For some reason, a wrecking ball to the back does not sound very comfortable.
No, but I mean, Winner is going to effectively deal with the Wolger wrecking ball as they continue to move the cart down around past the library.
Taking care of business here is Ohio State. They're just escorting this little payload. We'll have to see how this engagement starts to come on out here as Drexel's throwing almost everything they've got at the truck in these closed corridors that you were talking about earlier. We'll have to see what else comes out here as Optimal Shot going to be able to find one here. Has this ultimate at the ready, able to push some of these members back when he sees fit. And there it is. There's the Dragons that come out. And it's going to take care of two of the members of Ohio State. And now we're able to find another one. Is Optimal Shot make it a fourth for Drexel.
Shot.
They are holding clean here very much thanks to Optimal Shot.
Those are some really clean shots by Optimal Shot using the Frenzy Arrow as well as just his movement ability in that dash midair, finding, I think it was 4 kills there to finish out that team fight, and Ohio State's looking to regroup here and take this payload back.
Well done all told here, and of course the rest of Drexel holding true, allowing those opportunities for their teammates to come on in. But now Ohio State trying to find the next aggressive. They've got 4 ultimates at the ready compared to the Drexel's 1. They'll be looking to use some of that in order to come on back through here. High Noon coming out. We'll see what exactly comes of this. Not going to be anything this time around as they have to be careful. Pest control on the back lines. Try to flank from behind as Mooney and DC Star both going down, or Winter is going to be next, and the health bars of Ohio State are quickly dropping once more right as they try to engage. Drexel is able to hold again.
Optimal Shot had another Dragon online to shoot down there in the middle of that team fight. He found 2 with the Dragon and then 1 more on his cleanup. Just some really clean shots coming out from him. Really great to try to just play against it, see what Winter and Lava can do with their tanking abilities to try to play against this Hanzo that is doing a lot of work right now.
Certainly have to find an answer here pretty soon, as Optimal Shot just continuing to rain down arrows from above on this Ohio State squad. We'll see what they can do, as Optimal Shot might be trying to come on in here again. Wrecking Ball from behind, trying to distract Ohio State once more, trying to get them uncomfortable with their current position. As more ultimates are going to start to come out, health bars going down rather low as Orangutan again falls, Mooney falls, Lava falls, and they cannot find their way around this bend. This Ohio State squad. It's going to be Drexel holding once more, and they've just got to do this 2 more times, realistically, in order to secure this.
Yeah, the clock is ticking down. We're just hitting 2 minutes for Ohio State's attack. Looking to regroup. They'll have at least 2 team fights, maybe 3, depending on how fast it goes. And we're looking like a clean slate here for Ohio State on the ultimate side. Almost all of them at 0 except for Winter's Diva Bomb, which is about 50%.
And I mean, that's not going to be up by the next fight. Ohio State wants to get right back in there. They want to try to find at least 2 opportunities here in order to make these team fights happen, because time, as we mentioned, is quickly expiring. Winter already trying to dive in here, trying to take care of a little bit of business. But where is Optimal Shot? There you see the Dragons come out. It's going to be able to take down 1. And now they're going to try to continue to clean up the rest of this. Winter able to hold true, at least for the time being, continuing to come in with a little bit of healing, but Mafia is going to go down in the process for Ohio State. They still cannot find their way around this bend. There is just not much of an answer as Optimal Shot's continuing to rain down arrows. That's another one on the DC Star. Optimal Shot's probably got to have at least, what, 10, 12 eliminations by this point?
He's definitely got that gold medal for eliminations right now. Definitely putting in the work on the Hanzo. It's just so hard to try to attack this corner with the 4 or 5 different angles that you can be shot at. So looking like Lava's going to swap to the Winston, and he's about halfway to his ultimate already. Looking to probably try to dive back and isolate Optimal Shot and Peanut, but Optimal Shot finds a big pick on Orangutan right now.
Orangutan going down, that means that Ohio State's probably going to have to end up engaging on this 4v or 5v6 right now. Now Orangutan switching back to the Tracer, trying to come on back in here. But Ohio State is going to have 1 more engagement. They're going to have 3 ultimates to go through compared to just Winter's self-destruct here. We'll have to see exactly what comes of this, as now they're going to start to find this engagement. They're trying to find a few of these members, but right now the lines are holding once again for Drexel. Orangutan going to go down once more, and you start to hear the Triumph horns, the Overwatch theme play. We're in overtime now as Ohio State's continuing to try to push this, but it looks like it might not quite be enough. Peanut's going to be able to go down here, and it might be enough of an opportunity for this Ohio State squad, but Jeff Goldblum able to find 3 of the Ohio State squad is going to be enough to put this push to rest. Ohio State only gets to 93 meters and only 1 point on the board.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum there on the Sigma, just really hitting his shots with those projectiles. They do a lot of splash damage, especially if you hit them head on, and that's exactly what he was doing, finding a lot of damage in that last team fight, cleaning up 4 of the Ohio State members.
Well, now it's Ohio State's turn.
They have their work cut out for them, for sure. Ohio State looking to try to hold this first point in order to keep Drexel from taking this map. But this is a pretty tough spot for Ohio State right now.
So remind me again how the overtime rules work. Drexel has to get past this first point, of course. They have to get that on the board. But then if they do actually clear that and they don't get to 93, they don't get to that second point, are we heading to overtime, or are we sticking around in this game? Does it get decided based on how far Ohio State pushed?
So the idea with a hybrid map is if Ohio State can hold this first point and not allow them to cap it at all, then that would be the end of the map, and Ohio State would take it. However, once the payload has been unleashed from that garage there, the distance from there will matter. So the only time that we go to overtime is when there's no time on the clock and Drexel players still on the payload. So as long as they're still moving the cart, touching that objective, they're going to have a shot at taking this map. And you will rarely see a tie in a hybrid map, only because that those meters get so close and you can win by 0.001 meter.
So Ohio State's got that work cut out for them here, especially with how comfortable we've seen Optimal Shot on the Hanzo on this map, able to rain down arrows all over the place, have those dragons almost always at the ready for each and every one of these fights.
Yeah,
but already, Ohio State able to take down Optimal Shot, potentially huge. as they start to find this engagement.
It's a big first pick there. Mafia just finding a one headshot on Optimal Shot, who's out of position in front of that Sigma barrier. A great pick, and Drexel's gonna have to stall here, waiting for Mafia to come back to that high ground with them. As they continue, Mafia with another pick. Great shots, squeezing in that little window just to take out Optimal Shot, and Winter with another one. Looks like this team fight will also be wrapping up unless Drexel, big headshot again onto CB from far away. And Ohio State will definitively take this team fight.
Also want to call out how low Mafia was on health there for a moment, but the healing from his teammates was able to come in and keep him alive, and he held true on those arrows. Ohio State staying alive for the time being, but they've still yet to fully capture this point. They've still yet to fully get on the board, and they've got to be turning themselves to that pretty quickly. They want to, or actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm getting my sides mixed up. They're doing a pretty good job because Drexel hasn't touched the point yet.
Yeah, I mean, 0% on the point. There are three. The point is broken up into thirds, so if you take 1/3 of the point, it will stay capped at that. You can see around the little A as Ohio State will look to take this next team fight, committing Mafia's Dragons early.
Optimal Shot was starting to get in a dangerous position there, but able to get dissuaded from going back, and now Mafia trying to come up on the flank here is going to be spotted out by Optimal Shot. It's a Hanzo duel on the side lanes here in the hallway, trying to see what happens as Mafia is continuing to try to hold. Now we're going to start to see some of the members of Drexel push him out of the way, realizes he's a little bit further away from his teammates, and now we see that shield come up, trying to provide a little bit of some backup here, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be 2 down, 3 down for Ohio State. Now the Dragons come out as Drexel is going to be able to capture at least the first third of this point, and very likely going to be able to take the entire.
Yeah, getting really close here to capturing this whole point. Jeff Goldblum just taking tons of space in this choke point here. And Ohio State, with very little healing, is being forced to back off. No Baptiste healing, just the Brigida healing. So it looks like Drexel will be taking this first point. And Ohio State's going to look to hold this close corner where Lava is standing.
4 minutes, 93 meters. Those are the numbers to keep a look at here, as now Drexel is going to have an opportunity to try to push around this corner, and these are going to be those chokes that Ohio State really has to execute on here. Winter getting stunned back. It's going to start to open up potential opportunities, but with Drexel's Optimal Shot going down once more, Ohio State's going to continue to stand strong, at least for a little while longer, and dissuade this push coming in from Drexel, excuse me. But they really have to continue holding here. They've already allowed 30 meters on the board.
Yeah, and Lava here with a supercharger in the middle of these team fights. They're going to try to find a quick pick here with the rest of the supercharger as you just keep cycling barriers. Bob will get blocked by Arissa's just no CC ability, and just looks like Drexel's taking back this team fight. Lava with 1. The amplification matrix is also helping out on the side of Ohio State, and looking like they're taking back 3 here.
3 down now for Drexel as they're starting to go down and continuing to go down. They will. It's another 2 down, so 5 total. Fall for Drexel as Ohio State's going to continue holding right now around this bend. They've still got 2.5 minutes they've got to fend off, and that's plenty of opportunities for Drexel based on what we've seen so far in this match. But it's really going to come down to execution for both these squads. Optimal Shot has these dragon arrows on a line with Wolger and Jeff Goldblum. We'll have to see what comes of this, as already those are going to come out of Mafia actually this time, is they're trying to keep these members of Drexel back, just trying to continue to buy time off the clock. They're not looking for kills, they're just looking to try to dissuade them, try to commit enough resources to make sure that Drexel can't move further forward, but it's just not going to be enough this time around, as Optimal Shot's going to be able to infiltrate Jeff Goldblum as well, and the entire team of Drexel is getting involved in this fight in order to continue this push forward. And Ohio State's got to be real careful here. Drexel's going to get real close real fast.
Yeah, they're getting really close to this final point here. Ohio State's going to have to take a fast team fight. Luckily enough for them, Drexel has no ultimates online and nothing particularly close. But as you can see, the gold outline is the point to beat. Ohio State is going to commit early the Brigida rally, and they're just not even going to get to touch. And that is the Drexel win on Kings Row.
Not fast enough, and that means we are going to a third and final map again. Both of these squads, it's almost starting to be do or die time for them. as they could potentially be knocked out of the top 32 in the Swiss stage and will not be advancing in OWCC competition. So both these teams really want to make sure they're securing things here. But I got to say, hats off to Drexel there. So much good was coming out of them, especially optimal shot on the defensive side, what opens up that opportunity for them to be able to very comfortably take that on Kings Row.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive side for Drexel really set them up for success, which is sad to hear on our side, but Ohio State did the best they could on that defense. It's just they didn't get that final touch, that final team fight that they could have committed ultimates to. And on the side of Drexel, hats off to them. Really good Kings Row.
That's one of the things, too. It's so much about timing, right? It's like, okay, when do I want to take this fight? Because if I take the fight now or if I take the fight too late, I may or may not have another opportunity to try to defend that, right? And so that's another one of these risk-reward things you take. Do you try to charge up your ultimates a little bit more before you try to find that full engagement, or do you play a little bit more patient? Do you try to go in? There are so many decisions you have to make in the moment as a team in Overwatch, and that's one of the reasons what makes it such an interesting team game from that sort of a dynamic perspective, is they're able to do all of those sorts of things. But one more map, and it's going to be heading to Escort.
Yeah, Escort here, the last map, just purely a payload push. This will be Rialto, as we're just hearing from the producer. Let's just try to determine who's going to try to hold this first close, who's going to try to hold the back high ground. This first point is usually a do or die for the defense, because the second point, all the way up until that second cap, is really hard. So just curious to see what's going to happen here through this first point, where they're going to play defense, and try to figure out what compositions we're going to see coming up into this next map.
Certainly going to be interesting to watch on both sides of this. We've seen strengths of Drexel, we've seen strengths of Ohio State. Both of these, on the captures, so close, so often. 99s across the board. That one was rather close as well, as time was quickly starting to expire. Ohio State almost had that opportunity for another team fight. But certainly this one's going to be a bit of a nail-biter on that second phase as well between these two squads.
Yeah, I mean, this is the culmination of these previous two maps coming together here on Rialto. It's going to be real exciting to see how close this map is going to get, because it's a pure escort map. There's no points to control, so it's going to be team fight after team fight, trying to take space, and lots of just back and forth, hopefully. And I hope that Ohio State comes out on top.
Well, not to be biased, but I mean, come on, there's a logo in the background, folks. It's right there. You read the letters on the wall, okay? We're wearing the colors. There's one team we want to win. There's one team that you all, if you're tuning in, might want to win. Maybe you're coming in from Drexel. Of course, if you're cheering on Drexel, we welcome you. Welcome on aboard. Hope we're providing an entertaining enough show for you all as we hop on into this last map. Should be getting started just in a moment. But yeah, I mean, certainly going to be interesting, again, especially as this pressure is starting to build. It's the final week in this Swiss stage. I keep talking about it, but it's so often some of what makes and breaks teams. It's all about that mental. It's all about, are you prepared in order to take it week by week, especially as this pressure is continuing to mount. And these players are feeling it even more as we're readying up for the game right now and about to head into it. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
As we pan in here, you see the beautiful canals of Rialto. Teams trying to figure out what composition they're going to play, and just ready to jump into this one. Looks like Ohio State will be attacking first again, and Drexel will be defending.
Those like rocket-powered mannequins driving the boats.
They are Omnics. In Overwatch, they are called Omnics. So there's a couple Omnics that you see on the roster of Overwatch, Zenyatta being one himself. Also, Orisa is an Omnic. They come in different shapes and sizes, but essentially they're just robots with human personalities. And that's kind of what Overwatch is, like the story kind of follows. Getting real close there on Roadhog. Lava starting out here. On the attack, he's going to be really great on these bridges and canals, because if you do fall into the canal or get hooked into the canal, or same thing with Orisa here, Lava on the Orisa, if you get sucked into the canal with the Orisa pole, you will just fall to your demise. And it looks like Drexel's going to start pretty spread out here as Mafia takes to the skies.
Starting to spread out. We'll have to see what comes of this now. Orangutan on this Hanzo, looking to output the same amount of damage we've seen in the past. They've got to be careful as Orangutan already going to fall. And Ohio State already 2 down now as they're trying to push this on forward. It's just not going to be enough this time around. And that spread out style from Drexel is paying off right now. So many targets, so spread out, difficult to focus for Ohio State. They're not going to be able to push this, at least for the time being.
Yeah, with the Sigma and Wrecking Ball composition, both of these tanks can really hold their own. They both have plenty of just tanking ability, so they can just sit back on the corner by themselves, let Peanut hang way back, and shoot off these healing darts and throwing that grenade that will anti the enemy team, and then also increase the healing for your own team. Ohio State back on the payload here in this team fight, just trying to solo out one of these targets.
Trying to solo out one of these targets, and hey, when they've been able to do that, they've been successful. But when all these members are spread out, when many of them are hidden, they can't quite seem to find the true source of where the team's energy is coming from, it is difficult to do. And all the meanwhile, Drexel's able to catch some of the members of Ohio State off guard. As Optimal Shot's able to find one on Mafia. It's a lot of the damage going down for Ohio State. Orangutan as well falls. Again, DPS going down for Ohio State. Going to be critical in these team fights. They just cannot quite seem to find it. And of course, we're seeing them again. It's the Optimal Shots coming out here from this Drexel member. Piloting this hero brilliantly and able to try to find a little bit more, trying to dissuade Ohio State from doing any more. And they're already down to 2 minutes early in this.
It's getting rough here. Mooney and Mafia getting soloed out there. Looks like they went a little bit too deep. But luckily for Ohio State, they have a couple ultimates coming online here. Mafia with the Rocket Barrage, Mooney with the Valkyrie, and Ana with the Nano Boost. The Lava's getting very close to his ultimate as well on the Wrecking Ball. As we're ticking down to about 1.5 minutes, this first point is going to be a real battle here.
You said this.
Who can takes the first point.
You said the first point was going to be do or die here, and both these members kind of trading back and forth quite a bit here. So we're starting to see some of these ultimates come out on both these squads. Lava going in, trying to find this one on the opposing Hammond, but the Valkyrie on the opposing side going to come on out already. Drexel going to have 5 up in the area, but Optimal Shot able to get taken out by Lava. Very good move, as now there's Ohio State starting to try to come on back in here, starting to try to surround this cart and trying to push these members of Drexel away. They're slowly starting to be successful, but it's just not quite enough in a lot of cases. Drexel is continuing the onslaught. They're continuing to stick around, continuing to make sure that Ohio State can't push any further forward, and able to stall for enough time to take out 3 of the members of this Ohio State squad. Drexel is holding strong with 40 seconds to go, and Ohio State might not have another opportunity.
Yeah, they're going to have to go really fast here, waiting for Lava and Mooney to respawn. But it looks like someone's going to have to touch the point, most likely Orangutan on that Tracer, just trying to tap the point, send it into overtime. And Winter has his gravitational flux coming on here, which is going to be a big tide-turning ultimate if they can apply it correctly.
Has to be careful here. Peanuts on at the back lines as well. Able to take a little bit more of that pressure off of the rest of these DPS mains for Drexel. They're starting to go on in here, but Winter's already going to down. Now it's 4 down for Ohio State, and Drexel is going to continue to hold Ohio State to just under 70 meters here as well. It seems to be the critical point for Ohio State on both of these maps, and it's going to be Ohio State's turn to try to hold Drexel to that same margin.
Yeah, Ohio State, again, has their work cut out for them. Drexel just poured all of their resources into Optimal Shot on the Pharah. He had the damage boost, the nano boost, and the rocket barrage coming out from him, getting 3 in that final fight. Really hard to try to continue to move the payload when you get snowballed by ultimates like that. So Ohio State on the defense here has to pull something out that's going to stop Drexel from getting to that 70-meter mark.
Here we go, Buckeyes. This could be potentially the last game and the last point you play of the OWCC season. You have to hold them here if you are Ohio State. Let's see what they have at the ready as these compositions are coming online. Anything particularly stand out to you here?
Particularly the Lava Roadhog. We saw him hovering it on offense, but then eventually switched to Orisa. Looks like he will be running out on defense with the Roadhog, which is a polarizing pick, because if the Ana on Drexel's side, Peanut, gets any kind of anti-grenade onto Lava the Roadhog, his tanking abilities are essentially gone. That deep breathe ability that Roadhog has is great for staying alive, getting out of tricky situations, and looking like we get into the match now.
Here we go. So Ohio State's got to hold Drexel to within 70 meters. Has to be able to make sure that they secure this point in order to take care of this one. And already trying to find optimal shot. That's going to be Winter taking care of optimal shot down in the sky. And we're going to have to see what comes of the rest of this now, as the rest of the fight's going to start to unfold. Ohio State's getting backed out of their positions for the time being. Mafia trying to put out a little bit of damage here onto some of these members of Drexel. We'll have to see if it's going to be enough. Doesn't quite look like it's enough to dissuade Drexel from coming in. And they're already pushing this point so far forward, already down to 54 meters. Ohio State's got to find something. They've got to find it quick, and they've got to hold on to it for another 3 minutes. But otherwise, right now, Drexel's just continuing to shove Ohio State back and allow themselves more area to grow.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely taking the space here, but the bodies aren't falling. That's the most important part here, is as long as they can stay alive and be around that point, Lava specifically is going to be the guy to touch the point all the time. It looks like they're getting 2 kills coming out here. Great start. There's 3 for Orangutan, and DC Star finding the Lucio Boop on Peanut for a kill.
6 meters. 6 meters is the difference that Ohio State has to hold for the next 2.5 minutes. It's at least 2 fights. They have to be pretty much camping right on top of this cart to make sure it doesn't move.
Yeah, I mean, Lava's priority here on the Roadhog is going to be to stay alive and don't let that point move. Mafia finds one on the optimal shot, and looks like we're swinging the team fight back to Ohio State. They're trying to solo out members here. There goes Jeff Goldblum. They're just trying to get pest control on the Tracer out of the fight as well. And they're going to have a couple ultimates here to keep snowballing these team fights. Mooney and Mafia both have their ultimates online, and Orangutan and Winter are both close as well. So hopefully Ohio State can keep rotating through their ultimate abilities, trying to stall out this cart. And Mafia's asleep, gets soloed out. Great sleep dart on behalf of Peanut. And it looks like Ohio State's getting in a tough spot here.
Getting in a little bit of a tough spot. His optimal shot's going to try to come on in here for the Ohio State squad. They're camping this point. And optimal shot's going up in this sky, taking down 2 with that rocket rain. It's 3 down now for Ohio State, making a 4th. Drexel's going to be able to hop on this card if Ohio State is not careful and push this one on forward. Really has to stay careful. They're trying to eliminate this last member. Mafia was being so pesky, but it's just not going to be enough, and Drexel is going to be able to secure the map and secure victory in the match.
Yeah, Ohio State super close there to touching that final point, but unfortunately, optimal shot getting 2 with a barrage. Really big play to seal out the match.
We're probably going to see it again here, right?
Yep.
Surely we see it again here.
This is the one.
This is the one. This is the securing blow for Drexel University. Able to take care of business with that ultimate, and very well done. I mean, really all batch ultimate shot. Perfect on many of those shots. It was very much a matter of whether or not Ohio State was able to catch him out early, but nonetheless, optimal shot able to take care of business along with Drexel University, along with those members of support, able to take the match tonight.
Yeah, optimal shot was almost flawless on those projectile heroes, being Hanzo and Farah. Really hard to shut him down. We did see Ash come out from Ohio State to try to kind of counter that, both getting the mercy boosts, but optimal shot came out on top today, and that's what pushed Drexel over the line, just past Ohio State today.
Yeah, well, folks, that's going to do it from us here today. As I mentioned, Ohio State is unfortunately going to have to forfeit their second match and their final match of the regular season against Northeastern. We'll have to see what comes of this. We'll have to see if, they can maybe squeak in there, but it's frankly looking unlikely at a 5-3 record if they can try to squeak in that top 32. But of course, we'll keep you updated as much as we can on Twitter at Ohio State Esports, Ohio ST Esports, I should say. Be sure to drop us a follow there if you're interested in learning more about what's going on here with esports at Ohio State. Any other closing remarks of the day, Nathan?
Well, all I can say is I hope that Ohio State can move on to the next stage here, and I wish them the best. I know our Overwatch team has strived to, really do well this season, and I think they showed that they have what they've got today. Just didn't get to that final point and push themselves over the line. So
There is so much potential on this roster. I'm excited to see how it continues to develop, not only for the rest of the season, but also looking forward to next season.
Yep.
Looking forward to what things look like in the future. But of course, that's going to do it from us here today. On behalf of the Department of Recreational Sports within the Office of Student Life at The Ohio State University, you've been tuning into the Ohio State Esports broadcast. We hope you all have a great evening tonight. Ohio State students, enjoy your spring break. Hopefully the weather gets a little bit nicer for the rest of you, and hopefully you can find some time away from your coursework. But again, that's going to do it from us here today. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.